Aloha, I'm Ansel Clancy, internationally certified arborist and acting board member for the Maui Coffee Association. In this video, I'm going to show you how to utilize this piece of machinery right here. This is a mechanized pulper. This is going to remove the coffee cherry fruit from the coffee seed. You're going to end up with two products, coffee fruit or pulp and what's called mucilage coffee. I'd like to start off just by orienting you to the machine a little bit. So on this particular unit, this is a Panagos machine. We have a motor on the back, electric powered motor, 110 amp. And then we have a belt drive system from the motor to a drum that's inside of here. If you can see the drum from the top of the hopper up here, you'll see it has a corrugated tin surface. And this is a friction plate that actually grabs the coffee cherries as it goes through. Another very critical piece that actually makes this whole thing function is this pressure plate right here on the front. These 4 bolts are really important to remember. These are going to adjust the amount of pressure you put between the drum and the plate. And basically what this does is as the drum spins, it pulls the cherries through that pressure slot and it will pop the seeds right out of the cherry, out of the fruit. Then out the front here, out of this slot, we'll get mucilage coffee being caught in this tray. Right on the bottom, as good old gravity working in our favor, as the drum hits bottom, the coffee cherry will fall off of the friction plate into this little tote here. Now both of these products are actually going to be usable product and a sellable product. So this is food processing. Make sure your area is nice and clean, and now we're about to get started. So now I have pre-sorted, pre-washed coffee cherry. This is nice and clean and food grade. I'm going to go ahead and fill up my hopper. It's a nice fit. A 5-gallon bucket will usually generate approximately 30 pounds of coffee cherry. Now that we have that filled up right inside of our hopper, we're about ready to get started. One note about this is it's called a pulper, but it's also commonly called a wet mill. And that's because we're actually going to run water through it. And what that water does is it helps the coffee flow through consistently, and it will reduce the amount of nicked mucilage that you get coming out of the front of the machine. So we'll go ahead and get water flowing, and then we'll fire this thing up. As we're going here, I'm going to be running my water straight through. And as you can see, I've got mucilage coming straight out the front here. And as it comes out, I want to kind of pick out some of this fruit that's coming out. I'm really just kind of inspecting it, making sure that it's all looking good and uniform. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down, and I'm going to get to sorting. Now once I'm here, more sorting. Now you're getting the name of the game. We're always making our coffee better every time we touch it. So I want to pick out all the little bits of fruit, what they call cascara in South America and Central America. I also want to pick out any stem material. And basically I'm doing a pre-sort before I go into the floating steps. I'm going to even it all out so I can see all sides. This is some really nice looking mucilage coffee. It has this slimy mucilage on it. So after coffee comes out of the fruit, it goes into a phase that's called mucilage. And I'm also looking for any kind of defects or foreign objects. All right, now that we've run this through the wet mill or the pulper, I want to leave you with a few takeaways from this video. First things first, this is a mechanized pulper or a wet mill, and you end up with two products, mucilage coffee and coffee cherry pulp, both usable, sellable products. This will be processed into food grade product, and this will be processed either into dried parchment or it will be fermented in a washed process. That's it for the wet mill. Happy milling.